Why did you hear it?
What was that?
My back.
Yeah, I do like this better. Oh, dang. Can't get out of view here. Cheers. I was gonna go to the store today too, and then it's been a busy day because I didn't go to work yesterday, so I had to play catch up at work, and so I'm gonna go tomorrow because my sister blessed me with some more link. I'm like, yes, Lord, give it to me. Take all the blessings. Hey, Corey, what's up, friend?
Hey.
How you doing today? I'm trying to see. Hey, people on Facebook. And don't tell me who you are. Just tell me there's 2 people. What?
Girl, I was trying to see
Like
if it was
my
something
hair
that
is flat.
showed
That's not even that side.
that thunder is out there booming.
Crazy. This is crazy, y'all, because we're on like 2 different sides on different cameras. So it's kind of throwing us off. All right, well, what time is it?
It's about 6.
Okay. How you feeling today?
I'm good today.
Good.
Well, I mean, I'm good. Not even just today. I'm good.
You good? You seem real zen.
Girl, I took a bath before we did that.
I'm saying, are you high?
Like 5:30.
Like
I thought it was gonna carry over, but it didn't. So I'm okay.
I had an edible on Sunday. That could be another reason why I needed to call off yesterday too, because I was just like, my mental was just like, I ain't never felt like that either on the edible. Like the way my mind was just like so open. I'm just like, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
I just needed to process. Yeah,
I did smoke earlier, but I'm okay. I'm good. I'm great. I took me a nice little bath and just sat there. Then took my time, put on my lotion. I had to hurry up because now the thunder is out there booming. But yeah, I'm good.
This fly is blowing. It's keep getting in my ear. And it's irritating. I'm still playing with my hair because it seemed like it looked weird.
I'm really getting excited for Thursday.
So Thursday, guys, we're going to see our favorite podcast live. One of our favorite podcasts live. So we're super excited.
Yeah.
Good moms, bad choices. And I mean, that's what we are. Who we are, right? We're good moms. We make bad choices. That's all a part of this journey. And why we're here. So, I mean, let's go ahead and break it down. We're here. We're back. This is Wine&Grow. I'm Ken.
I'm Kay.
She's Kay. I'm Ken. And this is Wine&Grow, where we wine when we grow. And when we grow, we need wine. So, welcome back, y'all. Season 6, episode 2. While we wait.
Whole time this fly. I just hope it don't fly
all
in
in the
camera.
Like trying to be seen.
Yeah.
That's because I was in and out of the house today. Like it was like feeling real cold in my house and stuff. Like, and that was just like, it was just draining me. So I just went outside to work and I, sat outside and just, and it felt so much better. So, do y'all see how this girl is glowing? Like she's shining.
Shining, 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 shining. Yeah.
Shining.
I tried to rub it in, y'all.
What you got on?
Everything.
I tried to rub it in. Like, give me some. Might be a little ashy.
Everything.
And look at that. You can see the difference. See the difference in the
y'all,
little...
because I put on... I just don't be wanting to be dry, y'all.
Come on, we want to be dry.
I got on
you did a good job.
Vaseline and lotion.
Wow.
It's a process, but I don't be dry. But in the morning I will be, because my skin just be eating this up.
Yeah. Because I look real pale compared to you.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So I have to say what's been going on since we talked last, since we had Wine&Grow last.
Trying to get out of vacation mode, y'all.
Still?
No, not today, but like it took that much time for me to get up out of that because I was still eating like I was on vacation and just like my body, it was slowly trying to adjust. But today, because I didn't do nothing yesterday either. Today I got up and got to it, and I'm back at it. I feel good. So, that's it. I remember today was Tuesday. Because last week I forgot that it was Tuesday. Telling my son happy Monday on his way to school.
Yeah.
So, just the the week has started off real. I don't want to say slow. It's just started. That's it. That's just how I feel. It just started. So
I feel like it's gonna go by fast. Like I can't believe it's already Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Tomorrow's gonna be Wednesday.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent week. A pretty decent weekend. What I do on Friday? Nothing. I went out on Thursday night. Then I did nothing on Friday. And Saturday I went to Rockford and came back the same day. I'm a part of this mentoring program in Rockford, so I had to do that today before this. Yes, on Sunday I went to go see my friend, her first fashion show. Sheena did so good, y'all.
I seen the pictures.
And her curvaceous fashion show, she did such a good job. Those women were so beautiful. I love seeing plus size women just strut their stuff, like, because who said no?
And they be looking good in that stuff.
Looking good, like.
Because they be filling it out how it's supposed to be.
So I don't want to be skinny, Like I want to just be where I am. Like I'm just happy with where I am. Like I was telling a friend, like, because when I had bought my clothes from Miami, like I was still losing weight. And then I was trying on my clothes, and I'm like, oh, I can't lose no more weight because I'm going to be able to fit my clothes from Miami. And I want I wanted my stuff to, like you just said, like I wanted to fill out my stuff. Yeah. So I was eating that week before we went to Miami.
I'm just skinny. I accept that. Like I gained a little weight and it be looking good, but I just accept the fact that this is what it is.
Everybody body just this is not the same. Everybody,
like I know I could pick up weight. I have, and I have now, but this me, baby. This all you get. This all you get.
Just love. As long as you love you,
for
who you are, that's what matters the most. So, and that's a perfect segue into where we are while we wait. Our single season. And in some places, we kind of touched on this last week a little bit. We were kind of talking about, when we were talking about the things, what we thought we knew, forget it. And how, we just taking a different approach to dating. And just being more comfortable with ourselves in our single season. I know that's definitely been the case for me, is just being comfortable being alone and not seeking anybody. Like just literally not seeking. Just living. Yeah.
Just not feeling like you have to feel like, not me. For me, I like being alone, but then like when I feel like I'm just always alone, I don't feel like I have to feel my space with somebody. Like I can just enjoy this and just enjoy this quietness that's in my house. Enjoy my thoughts because I got to hear nobody else talk, and I can hear myself think. Just enjoying me.
Because that's the thing. That's what we really don't think about. When we have when we single, we don't really think about the fact that this is the only time when you're going to have this space to yourself.
Yes.
So learning to enjoy that space, because when somebody else fills that space, now you're going to have to check in on that person and share everything with that person. Like you can't even watch what you want to watch on TV anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to compromise what we watch together, or either choose to be in separate spaces, which is what's the point of being together. We're going to do everything separate. So, yeah.
But that's what you do during your time in your relationship. You have to have your time to yourself.
For sure. During your you time.
Yeah.
You still have to be a single person in a relationship, too.
Yeah.
And that's
I've heard that in the things like just remaining, letting yourself know that you are still single. This person does not own you, you know, so you can't lose yourself inside the relationship because who are you once they gone?
For sure. And I was actually, this guy, he's married, Marcus Black.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's one of the things that he promotes. Is just being, he's married. He's like married, but still single. Yeah. You know, that's something that he really promotes hard. So, and I think people may initially look at that and be like, what? But you have to understand.
But it makes sense.
You got to understand, like, some people just they're not on that level yet. Understanding that. And it's something that I was talking about at the shop too. Is like a lot of marriage issues are single people issues. Like, you got to learn how to deal with yourself in your single stage first, so that you don't bring those issues to your marriage or any relationship that you're in. You know, so that has actually been my focus during this season of waiting. I feel like, and I mentioned this last week, before when I was single, in between of relationships, I was always looking to prepare myself for the next person, or where I needed to be to attract the next person, or what I needed to do, or whatever. Like, this time I'm just like, it is what it is. You know, like, I'm not going anywhere to meet anybody. I'm not dressing a certain way to attract anybody. I'm doing things solely for me and my happiness, because I feel like it's going to be in this space that I truly attract the person that I want to be with, because I'm finally loving on me correctly and doing the things that make me happy. Like, that's truly just been my focus, and that's just been in all aspects of relationships, just respecting me and honoring me in this season. Like, you know, like we were talking about too, like learning boundaries and knowing how to say no, you know, like, because like, time is precious, you know, and I don't want to live my life tired from being a service to everybody else, and I ain't did nothing for myself. You know, so.
And this space is where we create our non-negotiables and all that great stuff. Us figuring out who we want to be in this life and in our relationships when we come and present ourselves to people. That's who I really want to be, like that person. But I'm constantly questioning myself every day, and it's not like bad questions. It's just to figure out who I am and where I'm going. So I'm just enjoying this. Like, even when I come into contact with people or people that I've dated previously, I'm asking them questions. Now, I'm really listening, and I'm asking questions, and I'm trying to understand why they see me this way, because they ain't perceiving me this way for no reason. So just understanding how others see me more, so that I can, while I'm questioning myself, understand how I'm seeing myself as well. So, and then, like I said, just figuring out the things that I like, which I really do love my space. And that's one of the things that I know. Like, every time I'm in this space, I always realize that I really love my space, because it's just, I think I created that space for me. So when it's disrupted, it's like, that's probably more than likely when I'm trying to figure out who should I bring in, or trying to figure out how to leave my house, because I just need a moment.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, and that's like the fear of a lot of people. You know, like, it's just like learning how to welcome somebody into your space when you've been in your space alone for so long, because you literally built a sanctuary for you. And that was like something, like, that's always been something that's been hard for me in relationships, when I welcome people into my space, of now, okay, making it comfortable for everybody, but like, it's like, okay, but that's, you know, don't touch that, you know, like, don't move that, you know, like, so, yeah, think about that too, like, you know, like, cohabitating, you know, so it's like, I don't want to get too comfortable, where I don't want to, like, I'm not comfortable when it's time to welcome somebody into my space.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling like I already know how to be with myself, but I'm learning how to be with somebody else in this process. And that's why I'm saying I'm really listening to the things that other people have to say about me, so that I know what I look like, or how I am approaching other people.
So are you still dating in this season of waiting?
I am not exclusively. I'm dating just, you know, I'm just having fun right now. I'm just enjoying this time, hanging with new people, meeting new people. Because who knows what can happen later on down the line, but it's that's not my focus. Yeah,
and that's kind of me too. Like, I'm not closed off to dating.
Yeah.
And I've never had a season like that where I'm like, okay, I'm not dating. But I'm not dating right now. Yeah. But it's like I'm not closed off to it. But I'm okay if this is a season of me not supposed to be dating. Like if that's just what happens, that's just what happens. I'm
content right here. I'm content, like, because I'm really making the decisions and choices for myself. I'm really doing what I feel that was best for me. Exactly. Like, I'm not taking in what somebody else has to say, their opinions, because their experience is not my experience. So, and I've already seen certain things that's helped me has guided me to this place. So, I'm just doing what's best for me. My focus is me. And if it don't make sense to me, then it's not something that I need to be doing.
Yes, that's it right there. Like, what feel right? What don't? Like, really. That's why I said even yesterday, like, when I had to take that mental health day from work, like, I was thinking about it on Sunday night. I'm like, no, don't do it. You know, like, don't do it. You need to go to work. You know, like, I had new employees starting today. You know, I'm like, there's just things, you know, we always feel like it can't happen without us. You know, and I'm like, I had to, you know, the other side of me is like, girl, they can do it. Because what would they do if you wasn't there? Like, they gonna figure it out, you know? So I'm like, yeah, you need to just you have to take care of you, you know? So I just had to give myself permission to put me first. Yeah. And that's just what I did, you know? So, and I'm happy. Like, I'm really learning to put me first. I'm really learning that. I'm really learning to say no, not right now, or, you know, or just, like, the way, like, that I'm planning for my time and stuff like that, you know, like, okay, like, I've never just been a spur of the moment type of person anyways, but, like, I'm happy that I've gotten to doing that in this season for me, though. You know, like, if I'm, like, sitting here and I'm like, oh, you know what, I want to go have a drink, I'll just get up and go do it, you know, or, you know what, like, I was like, I want some ice cream and some fries, like, I want some fast food, okay, I'm going to go get it, you know, like, I'm just respecting myself, you know. Doing what I want.
I'm taking this time to plan small goals and big goals. I mean, like, you know, I already have what I want to see in the next 3 to 5 years. But, you know, I don't plan for the process. I'm always all over the place. So, and I think that
you don't do the step by step.
Yeah, I'm always over, because once I get into something else, I'm like, okay, well, now let's see what this is about. I don't never just finish where I'm at. So I'm always jumping around, and I'm coming to go step by step because I'm missing something along the way.
Did you do a vision board this year?
Not yet. I'm already getting my stuff together.
No, I mean, like, did you do one for this year?
No.
Right. Okay.
No.
I'm gonna do a vision board party.
I've been writing my stuff down in my journal, but I haven't done a vision board. So, yeah.
It's crazy though, because, like, the year before last, I didn't do one, and I felt like my year was all over the place. And I did one this year, and it's like, even when I felt off track, I look at that vision board, and I'm like, you doing everything still that you said you was going to do. Like, it's actually going the way it's supposed to be going. Yeah. Like, you know, like, and I don't want to say what's all on my vision board, because somewhere along the line, they say that's bad luck. But, you know, like, but yeah, everything is happening the way it's supposed to be happening for me. And it makes me so happy. I'm like, okay, I really manifested all of this.
And even though I didn't what I did last year, some of the stuff that I've wrote down about how I wanted to feel and the things I want to do it's already here. And I know that, but I also set the tone at the beginning of the year, so I already know what's happening. And because I've taken that in the beginning of the year, since I had took so much time to just not date nobody out in the house, just being me, just by myself, just stopped everything, drinking, wasn't smoking, wasn't doing nothing. I just needed a moment, and it put a lot of things into perspective for me then. But just leading up to now, I'm still seeing, and I'm just so grateful that I am just not, like, I'm not where I was a year ago or 2 years ago. And I'm just seeing all of that, everything that I'm writing down come into fruition now. So, and it's just letting me know that I have to, that's why I say I'm not patient enough, and I'm not patient with myself. I know that these things are coming, but I'm just trying to speed up the process. But I have to give it time, because if I'm rushing it, and I'm not even ready for half the stuff I'm asking for.
Exactly. Crazy. Yeah. The lessons be real when you just slow down and you look at stuff. You know, like, just always having expectations. It's really just not cool. And I said that today, like, you know, like, sometimes like it's okay, like basically to not do, like because forcing something is just never the way to go. You know, like not forcing it.
Yeah. I just thought it makes sense. It just say Cuddy.
Hey, Nene. Yeah, so my last relationship, and I think this is crazy. Like, I feel like all the way that all the relationships have ended in the past have literally obviously they've put me in the place that I am in now. Like everything served a different lesson. And that last relationship, the lesson was me really learning to choose me. And I feel like that's just been the energy that I've just been carrying since. You know, like I felt like after the end of each relationship, I carried that lesson and brought it to the next, you know, and like and I'm doing the same thing now, you know, in that same energy of just like, okay, I had to choose me, you know, so I'm going to continue to choose me, even in this season, you know, like, and remembering the lessons that I learned from the other ones, like patience, you know, like you can't change people, you know, like just believing people for who, you know, they showed you who they are, believe them, you know, so, you know, the lessons are real in relationships, you know. And I'm applying them. Yeah. You know, so. But this last one was real because I was really, like, literally trying to convince somebody that I was worth it. You know, like, and it's just like, what does that really say about what I feel about myself then? You know, so.
Yeah. I completely forgot what I was about to say because it was like going what you had just said. Oh, the relationships. I think that. Somebody just asked me about somebody that I used to mess with or used to date, and I'm like, well, you know, it's been this amount of time since that's happened. But I was like, but you know what? I said I don't have no ill feelings towards this person because that person was the person that triggered me getting to this point. Like it raised so many questions for me to figure out a lot of shit about myself. So I'm so grateful for that relationship because. I don't think that I would be here. I wouldn't be questioning life. I mean, I had questions before. I knew the far out of what I wanted to do. I did not know how I was going to get there. I did not know nothing in the in-between. And then, you know, you start seeing things around you and you just start asking yourself questions about who you are. What do I really want to do?
Exactly.
Like, this person has experienced this already and I'm just still trying to figure it out. Like, I'm still at the door.
You know what? And somebody had asked me, and I feel like I always do that. Like somebody said, or I had this conversation, but like, do you notice that, like, basically, at the end of something like traumatic or something like happening in your life, like that really what catapults change? And I'm like, yeah. I believe that that's true for everybody though. It's usually a response, like it's a trauma response. You know, like what do I need to do different to prevent this thing from happening again? Because I never want to feel this way again. You know, so but what's important is how that trauma response, if it's healthy or negative. Because a lot of times, like we be like, oh, F love, I ain't never doing it again, blah blah blah. You know, obviously we know that's a negative response. You know, like just when we block ourselves. You know, like, and I'm grateful, and this was one of my Facebook memories today. Like, I'm like, you know, I'm grateful to just always still desire love, no matter how many times I feel like I've been burnt.
That's exactly how I feel. I said, anytime I'm done dealing with somebody, it's like, I just know that that's what I want, to be loved. So I can't just say, fuck love, because if I'm supposed to, first of all, I'm supposed to be out here giving this. So if I'm giving this, I'm going to receive this some way, shape, or form. So I can't just say fuck love when I know it's out there for me.
Exactly.
Just because it didn't work out with this person, why didn't it work out with this person? What did I do? What did they do that you didn't like? You know, just keeping those things in your mind, and then of course, like you said, taking those lessons into the next relationship or whatever, friendship, whatever it may be, and applying those. Actually applying those, because you know, once we get there, even though we know. And we can see these things, we can identify these things, it's still something that you still may not want to, because of how you feel for this person, you may not want to address it. But you have to stand up for yourself.
For real.
And that's the things that I'm learning. Speak up. Stand up, stand strong on your word.
Yeah, so in this waiting season of really just identifying, like we really have to take the time to evaluate relationships when we get out of them, like you said, to get that lesson and to to know how to move forward. But also when you're dating, spend the time to truly get to know people. And now, like we talked about last week, not rushing because we like each other. Let's be together. No, like, what is it that I really like about you outside of the physical? Like, what do I actually like about you? Like, do we share the same goals? Do we share the same values? Do we have similar life plans and morals about us? Like that's type of stuff that's important. And we get straight into the I like you physically.
We go, getting to know somebody on a romantic level versus trying to be their friend. Like you said, we get into that and then realize once stuff start happening, we realize we don't even like this person. This person wouldn't even have been my friend. So we don't allow that friendship to actually grow. We just hop in.
So that's why, again, and while we waiting, like you said, learning our non-negotiables. Like, what are you actually looking for in a relationship? And that starts with what we're doing is loving you and doing the things that you really enjoy for yourself. Like, I seen somebody made a status and was like, oh, I'm taking, I'm going on a date this weekend for the first time with myself. Like, any advice? And I thought that was just beautiful, like, because we don't really look, like, for things for ourselves. How should I treat myself? What should I expect from myself? Like, and I think when you establish those boundaries and those things, then now you know to expect from somebody else. Because I know that this is how I treat myself and this is what I want for myself. So now I'm not going to allow you to treat me any less.
Period.
So, learn your non-negotiables.
That and I know that we all know our value. It's just we get caught up in the other person and the emotions of it all. But you have to take a step back and just review the whole relationship, review yourself and how it's triggering you, if it's triggering you, to figure out what it is. Even if you are in a relationship, you can do this in a relationship. Just take a step back, take a moment. Evaluate what's been going on.
Are you happy? That's simple.
Are you at peace?
It's a simple question, literally.
Do you have peace in your life with this person?
Exactly. Like, because who was that? On what podcast? They said at a certain age, the only thing you care about is having peace. I want to say that was on Dear Future Wifey.
I think I heard it too.
Yeah.
But I was going to say it was somebody that was going to know for sure. Because they were saying something, and I think it was with Spicy Mighty, because they was talking about being happy, but then she was like, no, the number one thing is peace.
Yeah, no. Oh, no. And it was because it was a male's voice. And they was just talking about,
how many podcasts
but that also,
but
I was gonna say, but the fact of the matter is, we heard it in different places. So that means it was a message for us. But like at a certain age, like, it doesn't matter to you what else. All you want is peace. And if that person or that thing does not bring you peace, you literally you have to get it out of your space. Like, it's just not worth it. Like, if it's disrupting your peace, family, friends, jobs, bye. No, it's not worth it. It's not worth your peace.
And definitely understand that you love them. I definitely understand that. But you can love these people from a distance. You can tell these people no, especially if it's not no benefit to you. If it's study draining you, the word is no. No, I cannot do this for you. You can't call me after this time. Only call me when you need this. If it's an emergency, you can set those boundaries for yourself.
Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and tell these people what you really think. That be the thing, is be like, we just be afraid to hurt people's feelings, so we're willing to hurt ourselves to protect other people.
And that don't make sense.
Wow.
It don't make sense. You'd rather be miserable than to hurt somebody else.
Exactly. You
so
hurting
that
yourself.
You can be okay. And it's not like you're trying to be intentional about really hurting them. You just want to let them know how you feel. And you have to do that. You got to stand up for yourself. If you don't got you, who gonna have you?
Exactly. Because I showed, like, when I took my mental health day yesterday, and I messaged my director and told her, and she had said, she asked me, she's like, I hope the job isn't affecting your mental health. And I was texting, and I was starting to say, no, I was gonna bring up my mom because it had made 8 months of my mom on Sunday, and I'm like, but that ain't the full truth. This job is also affecting my mental health. So I said it does at times, like, and I just said that to her, and she was like, I understand. You know, everybody, you know, it's a lot for everybody right now. But imagine if I hadn't said that. She wouldn't have known that I was getting overwhelmed, and she wouldn't know how to move forward with me. Like her, you could just tell the difference in her conversation with me today versus how it had been, you know, just because I was honest about how I was feeling, you know, and I've even been checking myself in my replies with other people when they've been asking me for stuff. Like, so much of me be wanting to just be like, yes. And I'll be like, okay, you know, and I'll be like, sending message, I'll be like, delete. Like, I can't even do it no more. I just can't people please.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why I'm like, this season is so important for me. Like, this waiting season, like, because I am like, I've never respected myself the way I do in this season. I've never been here before. And I'm so grateful to be here and just to be respecting myself so highly.
Yeah. Keisha said, this goes back to the episode when y'all talked about misreading the purpose of connections. Some of our relationships don't work out because that person was never supposed to be more than a friend.
Period. Yeah. We try to force things, force people, you know, and they be, like you said, red flags. They be telling you stuff, they be showing you stuff, telling you stuff in the beginning. And you be like, okay, that ain't gonna be the same for me, or I could change that, or maybe I can handle that.
Right, I was just about to say, or maybe you feel like you can handle it until it get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel like when in relationships though, some of the things that you like about the person becomes the things that you don't like about the person?
Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
Ain't that crazy though? Because it's an imbalance though. That's just what it is.
Yes.
I think it's a good thing, but it's an imbalance, and it's the fact that what's good about them is what they're using to hide something that's wrong about them.
And they said something like that, I don't know for sure today. And I wrote it down, and she said something about vices. Dang. And I don't want to exit out of here. Because it ain't a share note. But she said something about just, you know, like, it's just a lot of vices out here.
Oh, because when B. Simone was talking about her the food and the yeah.
But yeah, like, we have many different vices and things that we use to cover up what's real.
Yeah.
You know, like,
coping mechanisms.
You know, like, and we gonna tap into this a little bit more next week. You know, but you know, like, a lot of people have been, you know, like, giving me kudos and stuff for, you know, like, still living my life, and, you know, understanding that I'm grieving my mom and stuff like that. But I be having to check myself and making sure that I'm not overdoing things to try to cover up my grief. You know, like, okay, you know, but I'm like, no, I'm not. Because I know how to sit down. Like, yesterday, I knew I wasn't feeling it. I just knew I needed a moment. You know, I'm like, okay, it's not, like, even on Sunday, like, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just cry today. And I did. You know, like, so it's like, I know, I respect my grief, you know, but I'm like, I'm also not gonna let it, you know, put me in a chokehold.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what's the LOL? What's she LOL?
Girl, I didn't even know that was an LOL.
Is that an LOL? That
yeah.
LOL.
I didn't even know that was an LOL. So.
Yeah. But yeah. What else? What else is something we're doing while we waiting? Something else. I guess what I'm not doing is thinking about what's next.
Oh, yeah. That's
what I'm not doing. I'm not worrying about, okay, is this the person? Like, when I meet somebody in the grocery store, ooh, is this he going? You know, like, I used to do shit like that. Yeah. Like, oh, do he like me? You know, is he gonna ask me out? Like, I'm just not worrying about, like, a high is a high. It's just that. You know, like, in, you know, or like I said, like, not in, like, preparing myself to be next for somebody. I feel like society always wants women to be preparing themselves for their mate. Like, do this, and do that. You know, like, and we don't put those same expectations on men to be preparing themselves. I'm like, I'm right now, I'm just going to love me, and that's it. Yeah. I'm not about to continue to prepare myself for anybody. Yeah. Like, I'm just going to focus on self-growth, not trying to make myself better for a relationship. So that's what I'm not doing.
Yeah. I'm just making myself better for me, so I can be able to sit with me. Sit with me. Sure. And of course, in the process, I'm attracting the person that is for me.
Exactly.
And it's not like I'm like, okay, God, where he at?
It'll come naturally.
Nah, I'm just chilling. I'm chilling. I've been having fun. Like, truly. Because, you know, even in the past when I would think that I'd be having fun, I was looking for something more.
Exactly.
And now
subconsciously always looking for something.
Yeah, and now I know, I'm just having fun. Like,
just like
I'm chilling.
Just like Miami. And if you happen to listen to this one episode, because that's just whatever. But anyways, like, no, because like meeting people like when you're on vacation, you know, like it's not my intention that we're gonna talk after this, you know. But some people, and I'm gonna say it's not that it's never been my intention, because there were times when I was looking for something, you know. But this time in particular, like, I wasn't, you know. I'm just like, okay, you know, like friends, whatever, you know. But this person still wanted to talk.
But it was also explained to that person of what it was for you.
Yeah, so I'm saying, so that's why I was like, okay,
now you're your own boy,
right? You know, so like I just want you to know that wasn't my intention, you know, like, and granted, I still conversate with this person because I'm like, you know, and even yesterday when he got checked on me, you know, like, and he, you know, asked me how I was doing and stuff like that, you know, and I think that was very genuine, you know. So like, and he said, you gained a friend, and I appreciate that, you know, like, because I also, like Keisha just pointed out, don't want to misinterpret a thing either, you know, like, this could just be somebody who can be in my space, you know, in this season. Like, this person is miles away. This ain't somebody who's gonna be blocking my space. You're not in my space. So just take it for what it is, right? You know, just take it for what it is. And that's just where I am. Like, and I'm proud of myself for doing that, though, for taking it for what it is and not trying to think about, okay, well, does he, you know, I think he liked me. He trying to talk to me. I need to talk about. No, it's like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just shining. I'm just checking myself out. I'm that girl.
It was so cold in here earlier, and I was hot.
I'm a hot girl.
It was cold in my house. It was cold in here all day, and now it is hot up in here. I guess because Sequoia came, she is a hot girl.
Yeah, you see me melting. You see me melting.
I'm a hot girl. I do hot shit.
And y'all know, appreciation for little titties. I'm sorry. Lynn, if you watch this, you know your child, okay? I just was acknowledging myself today, and I just be so happy. I just be smiling at myself, y'all, because God did that, okay?
Because that's something else you got to do in your waiting season, too. Fall in love with you and every part of you.
Looking at my little titties, and I see my little cuffs up underneath. Girl, look at that little weight. You know, that's how I know I'm gaining weight, though. That's how, just about that little difference, I know I'm gaining weight.
Yeah.
I got this.
And we talked about that a little bit too last week. Just like falling in love with our physical body. Like, I literally, what was that? Not this a couple weeks ago. And I was just like, I was sitting on the couch watching TV. That was when I did another self-care day. And I was watching TV all day, just relaxing and stuff. But towards the end of the night, I'm like, I want to listen to some music. I turned on some music. I washed the dishes. And then next thing you know, I'm dancing butt naked in the mirror.
Right? It happens just like that.
And I'm just like, enjoying myself. Hey girl, you know, I'm just, you know, like you know, and I'm just dancing with myself. Like what you say, I'm playing to dance real sexy to the music. Like that's what I'm doing. And I'm dancing real sexy to the music. Because why not? So I'm like, you know, like, and I do that. Like I take moments to just look at myself in the mirror, and you know, and I wear clothes now that I probably wouldn't have worn. I know I wouldn't have worn. You know, like, you know, things where I'm not, you know, I won't wear a bra and stuff like that. You know, like just really just like, okay, I like the way I look in this. I like the way my body looks, and I love the fact that my body is all natural. You know, and I'm like, and no shade to anybody.
If you feel like it's shade,
if you chose that for you, you chose that for you. That's the way you love your body. I understand. I love my body how it is naturally, and I'm doing what I can naturally to make it better for me. But I also like the stage it is in now. But that's also taking work to get where I am now, right? Because just March 2021, I looked like I didn't Whoo, child.
Man.
It was wild. I was about 200 pounds almost.
Just February 2022, I was looking like the worm off of Men in Black.
I couldn't believe it. Girl, that video. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was hilarious. That video.
Which one?
When we had Korean birthday and you was
Yo.
When we had Korean birthday at the Airbnb.
Oh. That wasn't even February 2022.
That wasn't.
That was in November of 2020.
But that made me think about that when you said, like, I was just looking like the worm on Man in Black. Like, that made me think about that video.
Hey, I looked at it like that then too, huh? That's crazy.
Like, it was real out here, you know? I was just heavy. Real heavy. So heavy. Like, every time I see that picture, I like heavy. And I showed that to somebody. They was like, wow, you was real healthy. I know. Like, they don't even I can't believe and you never know that you really carrying that weight until you look back. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I didn't even know that I was carrying that much weight until I look back at those pictures and I'm, wow, dang, okay. But I was feeling myself then too. Yeah. But that was just happy weight. I was in a relationship and we was eating a lot.
That was the beginning. And then it turns into not so happy weight.
Exactly. Now you just stressed weight. Now you just eating stressed. Yeah. We was eating a lot of edibles and eating just middle of the night. I gained a lot of my weight in my last relationship. That's why I had to stop. I had to stop doing those because I would be on the edible and I'd get up at 5 a.m. to go get me some fries. I did like my weight. I just didn't know how to handle it when I got it. So it was all over the place. Yeah. But now I'm good. So I'm definitely learning more of what I love, what makes me feel good. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't want to get too much into. I'm sweating. Oh, yeah, you did say that, but I just didn't expect your toes to look that way. This girl. I'm like, why is they glossing like that? Yeah, and look what over this to my leg. You see these welts? I seen this lady. When I was on this reel, she had a scratch, a new good one, like this long on her leg, and said where they come from. Show the dog. That's from her leash. Trying to get to the mail lady today, and she wrapped around my leg. Today. Mm-hmm. Sheesh. Yeah, but yeah. Yes. So learning to love yourself and what you enjoy, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And when I mean physically, I mean all aspects physically, because how can you expect someone else to pleasure you and you don't know how to pleasure yourself? You know, somebody said too this weekend, they was talking about how they just don't feel like you don't want to spend your time trying to teach somebody how to love you. The thing about it is we are teaching these people how to love. People not gonna come in knowing how to love us, period. So we have to teach That's a somebody, part of the dating stage, though. We're teaching these people how to love us, and we're teaching ourselves how to love ourselves by giving us the love that we want from somebody else. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what... Because you don't even naturally know what you want. Yeah. It's trial and error. Because you gotta go through the experiences. You also change, too. Yeah. Like, so what made you happy before doesn't make you happy now. Or maybe it does, or maybe it requires more. Yeah. Like, so you have to definitely check in with yourself too and be like, okay, does this thing even still make me happy? Mm-hmm. No, is this something that I still want to do? And like a lot of times we hold on to things because we feel like that's a part of us. Like we hold on to identity like it can't change. Like just because you enjoyed it before, that does not mean you have to continue to enjoy that thing forever. Yeah. Like that doesn't have to always be a part of you. It's okay. Change happens. It's inevitable. Yeah. Grow and glow. Hello. Hello, you see me. Grow and glow. You see me. You see me. Period. You know, so, yeah. Shoot. That's just what we on. Growing and glowing, y'all. Period. Growing and glowing. Cheers. Clink, clink, clink. Sorry, I was supposed to take a drink. Thirsty. Thirsty. Okay. What Sharika Ms. Watkins say? Oh, that was the LOL. I didn't even know that was her. Girl, is that really you or is that Bobby? Because I know he be on her. How did you just move up? Because he be on her phone and it don't even be her. And she be like, girl, that was Bobby. I be cracking up. Oh, hey, Kendall. Hey. Oh, I hope she ain't here to that part, that other part, even though I still talked a little. Which part? I was like, but it's okay because it was still PG. But hey, Kendall girl, my almost named twin. Okay, so next week, you know, next week we have processing grief.
We moved that up.
No, because remember we moved one down, and that was supposed to be episode 4.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where is it? Nope. That's something like it's a shared one, right?
Right there. Right?
This?
No.
Nope. This is shared, but that's not it. Oh, thank goodness, because I accidentally deleted those. What's this? Oh, here we go. It sure is.
Yeah.
Processing grief.
So next week,
sorry y'all.
So next week, yeah, we're gonna tap into a little bit of processing grief, and it's gonna go not just about processing grief of losing somebody physically to death, but processing grief in different aspects of our life, but mostly focusing on death, because I do want to share my experience that I've been going through with processing the loss of my mom and my grandmother. And Sequoia would like to share from her standpoint of somebody being there to support somebody, because I feel like we don't hear a lot of that side too. We hear a lot about what people need and what they want, blah, blah, but what that really weighs on, or that process looks like for the people who are actually there.
Yeah.
You know, so we're going to get a little deeper next week, but we, you know,
I hope I don't cry.
I hope I don't cry. Like,
because I mean, yeah, but somebody got to keep it together.
Somebody
got to keep it together.
It's okay. We'll cry together for a little bit. Only a little bit.
So I guess it's no different.
So tune in next week. If you know some people who this, you know, can benefit from this episode, share it. Or if you know some people who need to come next week to listen to us talk about grief, please invite them to come listen to us live. But of course, we'll always post the videos afterward, so they'll be able to replay them at any time. But like, share, add us on Instagram if you're on Instagram. Wine&Grow is our Instagram temporarily, because we trying to go places, so it might change soon. So, but it probably won't change until after this season. But so Wine&Grow right now, so follow us and share this video, y'all. If y'all thought we did good,
share.
Even if y'all didn't think we did
y'all
good,
didn't.
share the video, because just because it wasn't for you, that don't mean it ain't for somebody else.
True.
So, all right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all weeks. And kudos to y'all for being here. Wine&Grow out.
Clink, clink, clink. Wine&Grow out.
Wine&Grow out.